Alright, so in this video, I will cover 60 Linux questions with answers, and these questions will be divided into different categories and the topics you can see on the screen right now. And these questions will definitely help you in your Linux exams and interview journeys as well. If we talk about the level of these questions, these will be varies from the very basics to the mid level. So if you are a beginner, these questions will definitely help you to start your journey in the Linux world. So before starting this video, you only need a paper and pen so that you can note down the question number. And before I give you the answer, you can just pause the video and write down your answer. And at the end of this video, you can analyze how many answers were correct. So let's get started. So first we will start with the Linux basics questions. So here's the first question. What is the use of echo command? So here's the answer. So echo is the command that outputs the string that are passed to it as arguments. So on the terminal, if you type this echo and hello world or maybe any string, so it will be printed on the screen. Okay, so I can also show you this quickly on the screen. So for example, this is a Linux terminal, and if you do the echo and print anything, for example, if I write my name, so it will be printed on the terminal. Okay, let's come to the question number 2. How to check the computer name or host name in the server? So basically, if we need to check the name of the server, so let's see the answer using the host name command. So on the terminal, if you just give host name command, so you will get the name of the server or the host name of this server. Question number 3. How to check the current user in Linux terminal? Okay, let's see the answer here only. Who am I? So you can see or use the who am I command. For example, who am I, like this. So you will get the name of the current user who is logged in. Okay, although you can get these information in the terminal itself. For example, you can see here the username at the rate the host name. So you can get the these information like the host name and the username from here itself. Question number 4. How to check your current path or directory you are working in? We are talking about the Linux server. So for that, you can use the pwd command. The full form is present or working directory. In this terminal, I really don't know in which location I am right now. If I just hit pwd present working directory, so you can see I am inside the hash root folder. Question number 5. Explain the difference between relative and absolute path. Let's see the answer. Relative path. Okay, so relative path starts from current working directory. Okay, and absolute path, the full path to a file or a directory. So we can quickly see on the terminal also. So for example, I need to go inside this script folder, right? So I have the two way. One is relative path and one is absolute path. So for the absolute part, what I need to do, I need to start from the root directory, that is the hash. Okay, root, because I am inside the root folder now, and then go into the script folder. Okay, so this is the one way. So if you can see, I am inside the script folder now. Okay, and other is the relative path. So I know that in the relative path, this folder is inside my current directory or path. What I can do, simply do cd and script. Okay, so only the difference you can clearly see. This is the absolute path, which is starting from the root directory, and this is the relative path, which is from starting from the current directory. Question number 6. Which command to be used to create a file in Linux? Let's see the answer. So there are different ways actually we can use to create a file. For example, touch command we can use, vi or vim editor we can use. We can also use the nano. So one example I can show you quickly. For example, touch and my file. Okay, and ls, if I do ls, so you can see my file has been created. Question number 7. How will you edit an existing file on the Linux server? We have created the file. Now how we can edit it? Let's see the answer. Using different editors already by default present editors like vi, vim, nano, etc. To edit my file, I can simply use vi and the name of my file. Okay, here it is. We are inside the file. Just press I to insert, and hi, you can edit as something. To come out of your editing mode or the insert mode, just simply press escape button, and after that colon wq to save and exit. And to read the file, you can simply use cat and my file. You can see the hi is has been added in our file. Question number 8: how to rename a file in Linux? Let's see the answer using the mv command. Okay, for example, I need to rename this file, so I can use the mv command, that is the move command. So I'm saying move my file to the new file, for example, new file. So I am just renaming the name of my file from my file to new file. If I do ls, so you can see the name of my file has been changed. Question number 9: how to search for a string in a file? Let's see the example using the grep command. So we can use grep, and you can provide a string and the file name to see if that string or content is present in the file or not. Question number 10: difference between grep and egrep. Okay, very useful thing when you are dealing with the multiple strings, or when you want to find the multiple keywords within a file. Egrep will be helpful, although you can do the same thing with the grep also. In egrep, you can search for more than one string at the same time. So this is the basic difference between these two commands. And here you can see the syntax also, egrep, and you can provide the multiple keywords or string with pipe separated like this, and multiple words, and after that you have file name. Question number 11: how can you read a file without using the cat command? Okay, so we have just seen how to read the file using the cat command, but here the condition is without using cat command, how you can read the file. Okay, so there are different more commands, example less, more, vi command, etc. Although my personal choice is less, and after that your file name, for example new file. So you can see hi, I mean like the content of the file. If you need to exit, you just press q to exit the file. Question number 12: what is the advantage of using the less command? Okay, so we have just seen we can easily read big files. Okay, so right, and forward and backward search is easy. This command, you can search the keyword inside your file very easily. Forward and backward both search are available in the last command. Navigation from top to bottom is easy. Question number 13: how to check a file's permission? Okay, so what are the permissions allowed or given to a file, and who can access, who can't access, how we can check it? So answer is ls-l, or maybe you can use ll, so you can get the more information about the file permission. Or second option is get f ACL file name. Okay, so we can do, for example, here we have a lot of file. So if we only do the ls, you can just see the name. But if you do the ls-lt, or well, you can see the three groups of rws, rwx means read, write, executable, and for which. So three groups are there. So for first group is for user, second group is for group, and third is for the other user. I mean, for example, if you see this file, so for the others and group, there is no permission or the allowed, right? So others people or other users can't access this file. Question number 14: how to check the IP of your Linux server, which is so there are two ways. You can use the ifconfig or the ipaddr command. Okay, so you can try on your end. For example, if config, I can show you. So here, if under the broadcast one in the inet, you can see the IP of your uh, Linux server. Question number 15: how to read the top 5 lines in a file? Okay, suppose you have a very big file, maybe containing the hundred and thousands of lines, but you just need to read the top 5 lines in a file. How you can do this? For that, we have head command. Okay, head hyphen 5 and file name. So if you give the -5, so it will only give you the top 5 lines. You can change this number and as per your requirement. So head command is the answer. Question number 16, how to read the last 5 lines in a file? Okay, for example, if you have some kind of a log file and it is continuously um, updating and you just need to check the updated lines or the last few lines. So what you can do, you can read the last few lines using the tail command. Okay, you can easily remember the head means the top lines and tail means the last few lines. So tail and the syntax is very easy. Tail -5, you know, just provide the hyphen and the number of lines, and after that you're fine. Question number 17, how to list the hidden files? Okay, so what are the hidden files? Few files are there which may be not useful and which are not intended to edit or change by the user. So those are called the hidden files, but you can definitely see those files in your directory. So there is a way you can do ls-la to see the hidden files. So on the terminal, if you do ls-la, so you can see few files, you know, started with a dot. So hidden files are always started with dot and the name of the file. Question number 18, how to see all the recently used command? For example, we have been using the terminal since long. We have used so many commands. Now I want to see how many commands I have used so far. So the answer is history command. Okay, so which is very useful. History command, that is, and it will give you all the commands you have just recently used, like this. Question number 19, what is root? But what is a root in Linux? So root is a admin or a super user. Okay, so you can see in the terminal here the user here is root. Okay, so one is the super user or the admin user of a server is a root. Second is -root home directory for root user. Okay, so if I do the pwd, so you can see we are inside the root folder. So this is the home directory for the root user or the admin user. And one is the / or which is also called as a root directory. Okay, how? Let me I mean, maybe you may be confused. So if I only do cd and /, so / is a directory in itself. So if I do this, so you can see I'm inside the root directory. So this is also a directory. Question number 20, what is the inode and how to find it for a file? Okay, so answer is, first, you can use the ls-li to see the inodes associated with a specific file. Okay, inode is an index node. So for example, if I do ls-li, so in front of every file or folder, you can see this kind of number, okay, which is called the inode number. It serves as a unique identifier for a specific piece of metadata on a given file system. So it's just a reference number to identify a file or a folder by the file system. That's it. 21 question. Which command can you use for finding the files on a Linux system? So on the Linux system, there may be so many n number of files, right? If you need to find any file, which command you can use? So the answer is you can use find command or the locate command. Okay, so let's quickly see an example. Find in which location you want to search. For example, I need to search in the current directory and -name and the name of the file, for example my file. Okay, so you can see it provided the answer, like under the script folder there is a file named my file. Question number 22, command for counting words and lines. If we have a file, I need to only check how many lines are there. How we can do? So there is a command called wc, which is called as a word count command. So you can easily use. Okay, let's take this example, index.html. I need to check how many lines are there in the index. I can simply do wc-l and for name of the file. So you can see there are 12 lines in this file. Question number 23. how can you combine two commands, or what is pipe used for? Okay, let's see the answer. We can combine two commands using the pipe sign. Okay, for example, command 1 and separated by pipe sign and command 2. And the other part of the question is, what is pipe used for? So pipe is used to combine two commands and redirect output of command 1 to command 2. Okay, so let's say quickly see an example. If I need to combine the two commands, so what I can do, cat index.html, this is one command separated by pipe sign, and I can use some more command wc-l, suppose, so I can get the answer like 12. So the output of this command will be goes to the other part, and the wc, the word count, will be applied and you get the answer. Question number 24. How to view the difference between two files? So it is like the comparison between two files on the Linux server. So you can use the diff command, diff, and after then you can provide the two different files you want to compare, like here file 1 and file 2. It will give you the difference between those two files. Question number 25. What is the use of the shred command? Okay, so shred command, the purpose of the shred command. So let's see. So it is used to permanently delete a file which is unable to recover. Okay, so this is the main use, and you can see the syntax also, quick syntax, shred hyphen u and the name of the file, or shred hyphen hyphen remove or file name. So it will be permanently delete and removed from your server. Question number 26. How to check system architecture info? So to check the architecture info, we can use DMI decode or ls cpu command. So let's quickly see ls cpu. So you will get a lot of information about the hardware and the architecture, like the core, CPUs, and 64 bits and so on. Question number 27. How to combine two files? Suppose you have file A and file B, and you need to combine the content of these two files and write it in a third file. So for that purpose, we can use cat command, of course, which is very easy. So it is like the cat two file, like file 1 and file 2, and we can uh, redirect the content, like the combined content, to the third file. This is the file 3. Question number 28. How can you find the type of file? Example, on Windows, you have seen the different types of file, like the media file or image file, right? So many different other types of file, like audio file, etc. On Linux, how you can find the type of file? So for that, we can use the file command, file and the name of the file. It will give you the more information about the file. Okay, let's try this. File index.html. So you can see it is a HTML document. So it provided you the information like this. Question number 29. How to sort the content of the file? Example, there are few names written in the file. How you can sort it? So answer is the sort command. You can use the sort command, and after this the file name. So it will sort the file based on the alphabets from A to Z. Question number 30. Different ways to access a Linux server remotely. For example, from a Windows machine. So how you can access a Linux remote server? So there are different ways. So I have provided few ways. For example, you can use some command line tools, example putty, or maybe git bash, or maybe some cmd tool. Okay, and what do you need? uh like there are few more steps, like you need to do the ssh command, and you need the ip or the host name of the server and the username password to access that server. Now let's see some questions related to the file permissions. What are the different types of permission for a file in Linux? So let's see. So there are three types of permission we have already seen. It is a read, write, and executable. So if we talk about the executable, read write is very straightforward. Executable means if that is a script or something which need to be executed or to run. Okay, so executable permission needs to be provided. Question number 33. Which permission allow a user to run an executable file or a script? So I have just told you we need to provide the executable X permission to the user so that a user can run or execute the file or a script. Now let's see some questions on the redirection. How to write the output of a command into a file? Okay, so generally whenever we execute a command, we see the output of the command on the terminal. But now I need to write or redirect the output of the terminal in a file. How we can do? We can use the redirection. You can see the example command and this greater than sign, which is used for the redirection and the name of the file. Suppose pwd is there. Okay, so you are getting the output on the terminal. If I can do this pwd and the name of the file like pwd dot text. Okay, like this pwd text file has been created. If I see cat pwd dot text, so you can see the output of pwd command is written in this file. Question number 35. How to write something in a file without deleting the existing content? It simply means how we can append a file without losing our old data. Okay, so for that we just need to apply the double this two times greater sign. For example, if you keep doing this and cat pwd.txt, you only see one output. If I just do this, okay, and this, and now if I do cat, so you can see it is appending, like it is adding the output. Question number 36. How to redirect an error of a command into a file? For example, if your command is unsuccessful, in those cases, how to redirect those error into a file? To redirect an error, we need to use to and then greater than. Okay, to redirect both error and output, because here here in this example we were just redirecting the output but not the error. So if we need both like output and the error of the command, so we need to use that like this, 2 greater than and 1. Quick example for the error, example cat abc. Okay, so abc means no such file or directory because this file is not existing. So this is like an error, right? No such file. If I just simply do this and pwd.txt example, okay, so you can see that even after doing this, like the redirection, I still see this on the terminal. Why? Because it is an error. I want that this error should be or written into the file, so I need to provide the 2 greater than. Okay, now you can see there was no output on the terminal. And if I do cat pwd text, so you can see that error was written into the file. Let's see some question about the automation. Question number 37. How to automate any task or script? I can do it easily using the cron jobs. And for the cron jobs, we need to use the cron tab command or add command. So we can use either of these two commands to automate our jobs. Question number 38. How to check scheduled jobs? For example, someone already created the cron jobs or automated few tasks. How to check those existing jobs or tasks? So we can simply use cron tab -l. Question number 39. What is the meaning of this in the cron job? Actually, this is the pattern which we provide while creating the cron jobs or automating the task. Okay, so if we see the meaning of these, so the first star is for minute, second is for hours, third for day of month, which is the date 1 to 31, and the fourth one is for the month, which month, and the last one is the day of the week, that is the day Sunday to Saturday. If you want, I can create a separate video on the cron jobs. Question number 40. If your cron job didn't work, how would you check? For example, if you have scheduled your task and it didn't work, how and where you can check? So there are few ways. For example, check the system time, that if it is matched with your scheduled time or not. Cron tab cron tab entry. Okay, so you can check by the cron tab -l that if it was correctly configured or not, and if it is matching with the system time. Or the last option is you can check in the logs if there was an error or if that was scheduled correctly or not. Few questions related to services. Question number 41. What is daemon service? Service that keep running in the background. Okay, example HTTPD, SSHD, or CronnyD. So there are few services which always, all time running in the background. Even if you restart your server, it will again keep running in the background. Now, how to check if a service is running or not? Let's take an example of HTTPD service. The systemctl command. Systemctl status and the name of the service. So I can give you the demo of systemctl status and HTTPD service. So you can see that it is the inactive. So it is currently disabled and it is not running. How to stop or start any service? We have just checked how to check the status, and if we need to start, or we can again still use the systemctl command. We just need to provide start or stop and the name of the service. That's it. And we can again use the status command to check if it is running or not. Now, some questions related to the system monitoring. Question number 44, how to check for free disk space. Okay, these are also a very important part. If you need to check or monitor if the disk space is sufficient or not, so you can use the df command. Okay, so let me df command. So you can see the available memory or the disk space and the use, how many percentage it has been used already. You can simply use -h also to see those spaces in the human readable format. Question number 45, how to check the size of our directory's content. Okay, suppose you have a directory, you need to check the size. You can use the du, that is a disk utilization command. So suppose cd, I have a script folder here, right? I need to check the size of this folder. I can simply use du and the script, like the name of the folder also. So you can see it is 136, or maybe similarly I can use the -h. So 136 KB. Question number 46, how to check the CPU usage for a process. Okay, so CPU use utilization of your system. So just type the top command and enter. You will see a lot of information here. You can also see a separate column showing the percent CPU utilization by each process, by different process. So you will also get an idea like which process is taking the or utilizing or consuming the maximum CPU. Okay, so questions related to process on Linux server. So what is a process in Linux? Okay, obviously first question is, so an instance of a running program. Whenever you start a program or an application or execute a command, a process is created. And always, for every process, a unique number, which is called as the PID or process ID, is assigned to it. Okay, so as we seen in the last example, you can see the PID, that is the unique ID provided or associated to a specific process. How to check if a process or application is running or not? For example, you have started an application on Linux server. How you can check the status of that, if it is running or not? We can use the PS command, which is called the process status. As we just covered that whenever you start an application, it is converted into a process. Now you can check the status of the process, right? If it is running or not, you can simply use the process command. If I simply do PS, okay, so PS hyphen EF, so it will give you all the running process like this, including the PID, how to terminate or stop our running process. Okay, so once you started your application, you may need to stop it also, right? So for that purpose, you can use the kill command. Okay, of kill command, And after then, you have to provide the PID, that is a unique ID associated with your process. So it will kill or terminate or stop your process or application. Question number 50, difference between kill and kill hyphen 9. Okay, kill hyphen 9 will terminate a program forcefully. Okay, so if you only provide the kill, it will gracefully shutting down your application. If you provide the hyphen 9, it will forcefully terminate your program. So it depends upon the requirement. Sometimes you need you use the forcefully termination. Some question related to networking, some basic networking. Let's cover how to check if an IP server is accessible or not, right? If from your server you are trying to access the other server, that IP or server is accessible or not, how you can check? So you can use the ping or a telnet command. For example, if you need to check if you can access the google.com or this like website from your server or not, or this is also a way to check the internet connectivity from your server. So you can just use ping and the host name or the IP. And if you see, okay, after using the ping command, if you see 0% packet loss, it means the successful connection. Successful connection means there is a connectivity present. Question number 52. Which command to use to get info about ports? So we have already talked about the IP. Now let's talk about the ports. So if you need to get more information about the ports, you can use the net state command. So here you can see an example. If I have just provided the net state hyphen L, although there are few more options. So you can see some network connectivity like the TCP type of connections and some IPs and some port number. See localhost 323, it is listening or not. How to check open port on Linux system? Okay, so again the next version of the net state, how to check if a port is available or not available, actually are open for the connectivity on your server or not. So we can again use the net state command. Okay, so net state putan. Okay, so you can easily remember this putan, and then you can grab for a particular port number. So let's try this. Okay, so net state hyphen putan and then grab 22, because if I need to check 22 port number is open or not, if I just click OK, so you can see the localhost 22 port is listening. So means it is open and listening for the connection. How to check the network interfaces in Linux? Okay, so different network interfaces present. So we can use the ifconfig and net state command both. Question number 55, difference between telnet and SSH. Okay, so let's see the answer. SSH is secured and telnet is not. Okay, so that is the only difference. Actually, this is the most high level basic difference, although there may be a deep discussion about, but yeah, of course, a separate video can be made on these topics. Okay, so some questions about the SSH now. Secure shell. Which service should be running on server to allow you to connect remotely? Suppose you have a Linux server, right? And you want to make your server available to connect remotely. Okay, so which server should be running on your server? So that is a very simple question. So the name of the service is SSHD, and you can also see the status. We have just seen systemctl status SSHD. So if you can see, it is active. We can connect, I mean, this server from remotely. What is SSH? Okay, so this is a secure shell, as we already covered. Secure shell is a network communication protocol that enables two computer devices to communicate and share data. So in order to enable the communication between two servers, we need the SSH service. We have already seen that SSH service is enabled. Question number 58, why it is called as secure shell? Why it is called as secure? So the reason is because communication between host and the client will be in encrypted format. So yeah, the data communication and the communication will be in encrypted format. Okay, what is the default port for SSH? So SSH default port is 22. Okay, 22, we have already seen one example like this. So 22. So we have already seen the SSH services list, active, and the 22 port is listening, means it is ready for the accepting the connection. Question number 60. Which command is used to access a Linux system from a terminal or another Linux server? We need SSH command. So we will use this kind of syntax SSH, after then username, of course. In order to access any server, you should, or your account should be created on this server. You must have received the username and password to access that server. After then, you just need to provide this SSH username, your username at the rate the IP or the host name of that server. Okay, few more questions related to the compression or archive. If you want to transfer a large file, right? Suppose 10 GB remotely, 10 GB of file you need to transfer. What would be the first thing you will do? Like, or maybe we can call it a best practice you can do. So to transfer the 10 GB file, okay, so first thing we can do is to compress the file using the gzip command. Okay, and you can also see the tar and gzip command. So using these command, we can first compress the file, reduce its size, and can easily transfer it to the another location or server. And on that server, we can decompress or unzip those files using the gunzip command. All right, so that's all for this video. I hope you like this video and this series. I can create the another second part if you like. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.